What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Bring the Juice Colts podcast. So this is just an hour after the game had just ended between the Colts and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I guess the one thing I can say, and obviously Cody mentioned this to me earlier, and this is pretty much just how it's been. I mean, if this game doesn't represent just what our season has looked like all season, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's just insane just how much this team continues to throw games away. And I mean, I don't know what to say anymore about this team. I mean, this is just so disappointing knowing how many games we've been in this year and we just continue to blow our chances over and over again. I mean, we could talk about it from several different perspectives here. I mean, Carson Wentz, 27 of 44 today. 306 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, was sacked 3 times today, QB rating of 86. Now, to put that into perspective, in the first half, he was 16 of 20, I believe, for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. So in the second half, really, went 11 of 24 for 126 yards and 2 interceptions. Now, the 1 interception was thrown at the end of the game. Last-ditch effort. Don't even really blame him for that one. It's just how that game ended. I mean, you can blame this game on anyone that you want to. You can blame it on Coach Reich. You can blame it on the turnovers. You can blame it on the officiating. You can blame it on inconsistency. You can blame it on Coach Eberflus. I think that's the problem here, is that we're at a situation right now when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts that there isn't one variable that makes this team lose. There's not one variable. There's multiple variables. I mean, throughout a season, you normally can tell when a team goes bad. You can kind of tell. You can really tell when there's one specific thing that really stands out that's keeping you from winning big games like this. And then there's other times, and there's a lot of times when you see teams and there's multiple different reasons why these teams fail, right? I mean, throughout this game, the first half, I mean, the Colts took care of business in the first half, right? First half, defense was playing very, very well. I mean, outside of a few plays, that defense did a fantastic job of limiting what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to do. And in the first half, even though your run game wasn't working in the first quarter, you still kind of committed to it. And then the pass got going, and then everything was clicking for your offense, right? And I think the worst of it is for me is that the offense was clicking in the second half still. Like the second half, the offense was moving, right? The Colts moved down the field that first drive, and then Carson Wentz gets sacked and loses the football. That second drive, they had a couple first downs, and then you just decide to go deep on a 2nd and 3, and it just didn't go in your favor. And then, of course, you're only down a touchdown, and then you're only down one score, and then you have a chance to get that score and then tie it, and then you have a lot more time left. And then, of course, Hines fumbles the football on the punt return. I've had enough of trying to just understand what needs to be done here. Because I can't say the game of, oh, it's 50% this, 20% this, 30% this, blah, 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 blah. I can't keep doing that. Because then I just keep playing the numbers game, the imaginary numbers game that just doesn't matter. The ultimate thing here is that the Colts, for one, the turnovers were bad. Turnovers were bad. I mean, you lost the football at a bunch of different times when it shouldn't have happened. Eric Fisher doesn't get blown off the edge by the left end. Carson Wentz doesn't fumble. Heck, if they ran the ball potentially on that play, then they wouldn't have fumbled. And just the situational awareness of knowing you just abandoned the run game altogether in that game in the third quarter. I get it was the RPO offense. That was what they were trying to do. And for the most part, it was working. It just stinks that, we gave Carson Wentz or Jonathan Taylor the ball only 9 times in the first half. And he only ran the ball 8 times in the first half, and then, didn't get much in return for that. He only had 16 carries in this game. I know he didn't do well in the first half because of the defense that Tampa Bay was running, but you showed that in that fourth quarter when you were trying to get a touchdown, Jonathan Taylor was just amazing when you needed him to be in that particular circumstance. And we just didn't do that much in the second half. And then, of course, in the second half, defense gives up 24 points, and our offense couldn't match. We weren't able to make the plays that we needed on defense in the second half. We only stopped them one time, I believe. Once or twice at the most. And then, of course, giving up that touchdown on that last drive to them. We just couldn't stop the run game. We gave up 4 rushing touchdowns. 4. Leonard Fournette had his best game of his career against us today. 17 carries for 100 yards, almost 6 yards a carry, 3 rushing touchdowns. And then on top of it, he was their second leading receiver with 31 yards and 1 touchdown. And guys, Brady didn't shred us today. He didn't. He went 25 of 34. Yeah, that's very accurate. He only had 226 yards. He only had 1 touchdown. It wasn't like Tom Brady was a god today. He was just good. That was all he was. He was borderline good. Rob Gronkowski, the only one on the freaking offense that he could throw to consistently that got them play after play after play after play. 7 catches for 123 yards. And then, of course, Ronald Jones, 7 carries for 37 yards. That helped them. It was just a complete meltdown in the second half. Again, just unable to finish games. This is just getting embarrassing. It's getting embarrassing. I mean, a couple guys that deserve credit for today. Shout out to Jack Doyle for doing what he did today. Fantastic day receiving-wise. Dueling the one play that he had offensively all game, and he made it count. T.Y. Hilton, getting his first touchdown of the season the two best wide receivers that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had today, 7 catches for 40 yards. And Isaiah Rodgers and Rock Ya-Sin, in my opinion, they played pretty well today, given everything. It's just we let Rob Gronkowski get anything he wanted receiving-wise, and we could not slow down their run. I'm sorry, but when a team runs for 140 yards on you, you just don't deserve to win in the end of it. And again, the turnovers, just beating ourselves, man. Beating ourselves every single time. This continues to happen this way. I want to be more angry at it, and believe me, I kind of do, but I'm trying not to be like crazy, and I'm honestly just not in the mood. I don't know, y'all. This team still has the potential to make it into the playoffs, but at this point, it seems very unlikely. We'd have to win 4 out of our last 5 to even have a chance to win. And, we got to face the Cardinals, who have been really good this year. The New England Patriots, who have been getting really, really good this year. They're going to make it into a playoff spot. They're going to take the spot from Buffalo. So, what this team does going forward, I don't know. But this is just, again, another double-digit lead being blown away because we just can't finish games. It's frustrating. Again, I don't think I hate the fact that we're trying to expose blame on one particular person when it's the whole team that's messing up. What if Carson Wentz doesn't throw that interception? What if we ran it a couple more times in the third quarter? What if what if Hines doesn't fumble that football on the punt return? What if we did a better job of putting somebody on Rob Gronkowski? What if we actually stopped the run? It's a lot of what ifs, and that's the problem, is that every single week we continue to have these what ifs, and they never get answered. Nothing ever changes. We continue to have these games where we dominate in one half and we lose it in the second half because we can't make adjustments. We beat ourselves. We force turnovers and we lose turnovers. We don't adjust. We make bad decisions. It's just how it is being an Indianapolis Colts fan this year. And, it sucks to see what we've had to deal with. And, I applaud some of the guys on this team. It's just rough dealing with just trying to understand how this team continues to have these issues. And again, I don't even think the offensive game plan was trash in the third quarter. I know a lot of you are going to hate me for saying that. I thought the RPO was working. I thought a lot of that was working. I just think that when it comes time to execute this stuff, the Colts just flat out don't execute at certain times. And it really ruins the momentum of everything. Say Carson Wentz does not get sacked on that big play and loses that football there. The Colts were about to go up potentially by 3 scores. We're about to potentially go up by 3 scores in that. And then all the momentum completely changed after that. Like, what should have happened? And not to mention the officials, there was a freaking hold to the guy that Carson was trying to go to. There was a freaking hold all the way down there at the 10-yard line that the officials didn't see. What if we ran? What if Carson looked somewhere else? What if Carson had thrown it to someone else? What if something else would have happened? What if Fisher just held his freaking block? There's just not a whole lot more to really discuss on this. Colts had every opportunity to win this game, and they blew it. Unfortunately, it's just been the story of our season. Having a chance in almost every game this year and just blowing it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys again for the continued support. Like I said, let me know what you thought of the game and our chances going forward. But thank you guys again so much. And as always, go Colts.